So, story time weekend is coming up. Share some of my stories in the field and things that I've experienced. Late last night, I couldn't sleep, so I released a story about a true situation that happened. Actually, it wasn't just me. There's another guy that had a similar situation here as well, where I talked about how a lady showed up about a concern, noise, a fluttering sound coming from the passenger side lower window area. And when she showed up, it was at highway speeds and gave a location of where she heard it at. And I tried to verify the concern and I could not verify it. The lady was pressed for time. She had to go to work. I'll reschedule. She comes back, asks me to do it again. I go out, I go a little bit faster on the highway. I still can't get it 80 mile an hour. She was a little irritated, but she wasn't mad at me because she wants me to experience what she's experiencing. But when she comes in, she doesn't have a lot of time. She said, you know what? I'll come back next week when I have more time and we'll go together. She comes back next week and extreme situation. Y'all got to watch the other video and hear me. I felt like I was going to get kidnapped. They just would not give up. Excessive highway speeds over 100 mile an hour and stuff, and then finally the sound did happen. But it was freaky the way her and her husband were acting in the vehicle with me that made me feel super uncomfortable. So if you haven't checked out that video, please go check out that video. Kind of a funny story, scary story at the same time. But in that video, I explained it after the extreme, not extreme for me because I don't want to be in somebody else's care driving at over 100 mile an hour. I want to be behind the wheel if that's going to happen. And it better be a damn good reason why I'm doing it. I explained it after coming back to the dealership and experiencing the sound after 35 minutes of driving. I was able to pinpoint where it was coming from, and I found a TSB that specifically stated that there is an issue with the plastic cowl on like some of the 17, 18 Explorers. I forget exactly what year it was completely in there. And you need to replace them, basically. They make a fluttering sound because the fitment doesn't fit the lower part of the windshield properly where the weather seal comes up, and just replace it, and that fixed the problem. There were some messages, and I've been wanting to cover this. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get here, but I have to lay out the context to kind of where I'm going. One guy said, I've been in the field for 30 years or something like that. I've been a service writer and a technician. You should have checked TSBs first. Well, First things first, I don't know if maybe you were a technician in the field 30 years ago, but I know my uncle, my granddad, a lot of friends and stuff that are older than me were in the field 30 years ago, and it's still the same way. You still have to take the complaint from the customer or the concern, and then there's a repair order that is generated. The service writer has to use his best discretion on who's going to be the guy fit for the job. Typically, when it comes to electrical, interior work, weird noises and stuff like that, you typically have specific guys that are better at picking that stuff up and have more patience than other people. I'm one of the guys that will try to figure something out, and I hate letting a customer down. I despise the fact that there's sometimes I have to say I could not verify the concern when I know the customer 99.9% of the time is experiencing something that at that time I just cannot verify. And if the vehicle's under warranty, you don't get paid on I cannot verify. You rather try to verify it really quick, and then a lot of times if it's not a verifiable concern, the person that brought the vehicle in sometimes gets charged because you took a technician off of something that they could have been being productive on, and you want them to look at your vehicle and something is happening and you cannot verify that concern. Well, you've just taken that time away instead of letting this concern really be audible, really be heard, really make sure that when that guy gets in that car to experience what you're experiencing, he can experience it, and you know without a shadow of a doubt there's going to be no issue there. That's the best way to bring in a vehicle with a concern. Sometimes, unfortunately, catastrophic things happen when you're looking for something specifically, like an engine rattle sometimes, but it doesn't happen all the time. It could be that one time where there was, or there could have been many times where somebody tried to attempt to look at that to verify it and couldn't verify it, but the one day you wake up and it rattles, kaboom. Unfortunately, sometimes it comes down to that. Now, that's a rare occasion, but the first step would be taking the complaint of the customer, right, or their concern, and then generating an RO, finding the technician that you're going to give that job to that you think is fit for that job and that it has clarity and time to do that job, because typically it can be pretty hectic around a dealership and even the independent shops. But you find a guy. You have to go verify that there is a payable concern, because I cannot go right to the computer and say, yep, that's it, I'm going to throw some parts at it, and it not fix it. The technical service bulletins that are on the manufacturer's website are there for specific reasons, and they're not to just listen to what somebody says and then just go pick something random and say that fits the description, because that could be anything. You could be in a new 2020 Aviator and hear this fluttering ticking sound coming from a window area, and it's nothing but a vacuum line that comes from the motor that goes to the motor mount. It's a vacuum controlled motor mount, and it ticks off of the CV axle clamp. That makes a fluttering ticking type sound sometimes. Well, it could be easily misconstrued that it's about window area, but it's really coming from out front lower. Sometimes customers explain things and they don't explain them very clear to us, and we have to go out and verify that that is what's exactly going on, because if the manufacturer is going to pay for it, they want to know my diagnostics, how I went about doing this. That's how it works. To say just go to a TSB, like many people in the comment section said, well, why didn't you just go to a TSB and pick something and fix it? Well, you can't just go to a TSB and pick something and fix it. You have to go verify the customer's concern so you can do your job appropriately, draw up your paperwork appropriately, and get paid appropriately. Now, I ate those first 2 visits. I never ask the customer to pay for something I can't verify if it's within an hour. I feel bad about that. And I know I could do that, but I don't do that. Some dealerships are golden by that. Like, please bring the vehicle in where I can have somebody verify it. If they can't verify it and I have to pull a guy off of a job to go verify what your issue is, and it's not happening, and you know it's not happening when you came in, then that means I have to get payment for an hour from you. So please bring it in when it's 100% happening, so when I pull that guy off the job, he can go verify that and we can get your vehicle fixed for you, and then there's no charge to you. So, there are some people in the comment section who are saying, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years. You should have just went to a TSB. And there's no such thing as going right to a TSB unless you have a hard engine fault right then and there. But guess what you have to do before you get that engine fault? You have to verify the customer's concern. You have to verify the check engine light. You have to take that code, go to your manufacturer's website, and you have to see, okay, oh, here it is. You reprogram the PCM. The one side's hot, one side's cold, coming out of the vents when they have it on hot or cold. Reprogramming the HVAC system brings it back online. The manufacturer pays the technician 0.4 to do it. There's no diagnostic charge or whatever. It's just the reprogram because the code was already there. You get your vehicle back, you go on your way. But I can't just go randomly pick something and say this is how it's going to happen. So all of the people in that previous video that said, oh, I've been in the field for 30 years. I've been in the field for 40 years. I've been in the field for 1 day. This is what you got to go do. You can't listen to people like that. That is not how the system works. The system is set up to make sure the manufacturer doesn't have to pay more than the minimum. So if you can do the minimum and fix the vehicle and give it back to the customer, there's no just going to TSBs to throw parts at a vehicle. It doesn't work that way. And anybody in that comment section that said that, which there were several people, and then one guy was like, you don't have to get mad about, replying to people. Well, it's ignorant stuff that people claim to be professionals in the field, and it starts to make me wonder how many idiots we actually have in the field that claim to be professionals that don't even know how the system works. In the last comment under the pinned post, which I'll put that here so you guys can see it, the guy says, well, you don't have to get mad or whatever. When you came back from the first test drive, you could have just went and found the TSB. I could not verify the concern. If the concern is not verifiable, there's no going to TSBs to pick something out random. I have to be able to verify that. And if I see something, explicitly that, hey, you know what, obviously this is the issue here, there's only one TSB. But when you have multiple TSBs for sounds and fluttering and all this other stuff, which there's a whole section of noise, vibration, harshness, and all this other stuff with vehicles typically that have been out for a while, you can't just go pick it. You got to verify it. That's the way it works. That's the way it works at my dealership. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to have chargebacks and audits from the manufacturer, we want to do it right. It's not as easy as just go for the test drive, not be able to verify the concern, and then just randomly throw something at it. It doesn't work that way. And these people that don't understand that, and the customers that get upset when we can't fix their stuff, when we can't verify it, don't understand it. I'm here to, this is education right now. You understand my frustration. I'm not mad. Am I frustrated a little bit? Obviously, I am. You can hear it in my voice and stuff like that. That's because I'm concerned. I'm emotional, and I want to help you out. I try to explain this to customers. I try to explain this to other technicians. I try to explain it to people that just ask general questions that may not even be affiliated with a product that I have to fix. Most of the time, they're very acceptable to it. There's a small percent of people out there that are just angry people, and they just want you to randomly throw something at their vehicle. I had a gentleman come to my dealership 6 times trying to verify why an intermittent no trunk ajar would open on his 2019 Edge. He's like, dude, I can come out of the grocery store sometimes and I'm hitting our trunk release. It won't do nothing. It won't do nothing. I can't get it to do nothing. Do the foot swipe, it won't do nothing. I push the button inside the car, it won't do nothing. I worked on his vehicle 6 different times, and the customer even trusted me so much because he's seen me so many times. He said, I want you to take my vehicle for the weekend. Drive it wherever you want to go. I don't care. Drive it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll see you sometime on Monday whenever we can talk and see what you come up with. It didn't malfunction the entire time. The last time, the customer actually was like, here you go, let's try it again. He understood that I have to be able to verify it to fix it, and I didn't charge him for any of that because I didn't put more than an hour each time that I was on. The last time I actually got paid. I actually had a code finally set in the computer for the trunk latch release mechanism was faulty. It had like an intermittent no function code or whatever, and the pinpoint test led me to replacing the trunk release, the latch. I replaced it. Customer never had an issue again. But he was patient with me. He understood the manufacturer has to pay for this. This is the process we have to go through. It's frustrating, but when I don't have anything to go off of, I just can't pull something out of thin air and throw it at a vehicle. I have to be able to verify the concern under warranty. And if it's not under warranty, God forbid you should be paying an hour diagnostic every time you bring the vehicle to me while I try to verify it. It's an hour every single time. Or you can just leave your vehicle with me permanently until it randomly happens. There's a process you have to go through. And if you're a guy that's been in the field for a long time and you think that you don't have to verify the concern before you go to the manufacturer's computer and charge them money on their dime, I wonder how many audits and chargebacks you got. You always have to verify. That's the number one thing. You verify the concern. I don't know how many times I have to say this now. Hey, if you're watching this video, every time I said verify the concern, take a drink. See if you can function by the time this video is over. You get the point. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not here to make other technicians look stupid and stuff like that. I just do things typically by the book. I do things in an educated, smart way. And I'm not some just technician jockey out here that's just throwing parts at vehicles and stuff like that. I've seen guys in the field, they're trash. They destroy vehicles. They leak after they fix them. I've seen guys pull vehicles in, put them in stalls under warranty work, run all the time, and then put them right back out on the road. Those guys are trash. And then it'll come back and they can make warranty time later. I don't do that. I lose my ass on warranty jobs. I lose my ass on customer work because I want the customer, when they leave me, to be satisfied. There are multiple customers that are subscribers on this page that leave me nice comments all the time on my videos that say, dude, thank you, man. I've been at 3 or 4 other dealerships. Your dealership was the only one that was able to help me because I put the time in to figure it out and get it fixed. I don't give up until I figure out what the job, how to fix it, and how to go about having the manufacturer pay for it in a legit, honest way. That's what I do. Thanks, guys. This is not to attack anybody. This is to let you know how the process works and the frustration that goes behind it. And any of the people that are saying in the comment section just to automatically go to the TSPs or automatically go to the manufacturer's website and just find something and charge it to the customer to fix that concern. That's not how it works. That's not how this situation works. That's not how none of these situations are going to work. I do it legit, by the book, and I want to verify what you're experiencing. Once I verify what you're experiencing, I will go to battle for you I'll lose everything for you. I'll eat time upon time to get it fixed for you. That's what I do. And I get frustrated having to do it, yes. But the only reason I have a job is because we have people buying our vehicles, and it's because of them that I'm employed, that I can make the money that I make. And if I have to eat time, I'll do it. There's times I want to walk away from this field because it's very unfair. There's times that because I do it by the book and how the manufacturer screws us out of labor time, but will charge the customer twice as much labor, but the manufacturer doesn't want to pay it, I want to walk away from this field because it's not fair to the customer. It's not fair to us. But it is what it is. You work it, right? You learn to get through the system. But in any of these comments that you see from these technicians just wanting to throw parts and not verify and do this, buzz right over them. Don't even listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. That's not a real technician. That's not a real mechanic. They're just parts changers. That's what they do. Okay, I'm off this weekend. I'm headed to get away from all the craziness for a couple days. And I'm going to tell you a couple stories over the weekend. We're not going to be talking about automotive stuff, but it may be some stories that have to deal with some automotive stuff. I can't wait to just share some of the stuff in my life with you. Thank you, guys. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get in vehicles with people that hold you hostage and drive over 100 miles an hour and make you feel like you're man meat. Ugh.